Every chosen soul must be tested, not to be broken, not to be destroyed, but to be strengthened. The universe never makes mistakes in arranging the trials that come into your life. Every heartbreak, every confusion, every betrayal, and every loss are not random punishments. They are divine appointments. Lessons written by the cosmos to shape you into the best version of yourself. Sometimes it feels unfair when everything you love begins to fall apart, when the path ahead seems covered in fog, and when silence becomes heavier than words. Yet within that silence lies the echo of your own awakening. The pain you feel is not meant to punish you, it is meant to open your eyes. Every tear that has fallen carries a message, one that says you are still alive and your spirit still burns. When life challenges you, it is not trying to crush you, it is revealing what you are truly made of. The universe never wastes any suffering. Every lesson, every delay, every rejection, each one leads you closer to your higher purpose. You may not see it clearly when you are in the middle of the storm, but one day you will look back and understand that everything happened for a sacred reason. Those dark moments were not signs of failure, but invitations to rise higher. You were never abandoned. You were being prepared. And now, it is time to understand that these tests were not obstacles. They were keys unlocking your evolution, proof that your soul was chosen to endure and transcend. Welcome, dear wanderer, to IRS Spiritual Vibes, a space where souls like yours gather to seek higher understanding and connection beyond the visible world. If you haven't yet subscribed, take a moment to do so, and leave a comment below to share your reflections. Because here, we walk together. We share energy, light, and wisdom. Every story, every emotion, and every experience you carry adds meaning to this journey. Life is not meant to be walked alone, especially the spiritual kind. The path of awakening is filled with signs, whispers, and hidden truths waiting for the right moment to reveal themselves. When we unite as a conscious community, something magical happens. The frequency of our awareness rises. Each soul becomes a mirror to another, reflecting light that was once forgotten. The tests we experience are not punishments, but reminders of our divine essence. They are the universe's way of saying, you are ready to grow. So when you find yourself listening to this message, it's not a coincidence. You are guided here for a reason, to remember your strength, to rediscover your peace, and to awaken to the truth that you are a chosen soul. As you continue to listen, allow every word to flow into your heart like gentle waves touching the shore of your consciousness. Let this message be your mirror, reminding you that your journey is sacred and every challenge has been part of your becoming. The first sign that you have passed the universe's test is that your heart feels calmer than before. Once, your emotions might have been chaotic. Your mind constantly restless, chasing answers and fearing uncertainty. You might have felt like you were drowning in thoughts that never stopped whispering, "What if?" But now something has changed. You no longer fight the current. You float with it. You have learned that peace does not mean the absence of noise. It means remaining centered, even when the storm rages around you. You no longer react impulsively. Instead, you observe. You breathe deeper. You trust the divine timing of things. There is a sense of surrender within you, but not of weakness. Rather, a quiet knowing that everything unfolds exactly as it should. You understand that not every battle is yours to fight. Not every question needs an answer, and not every wound requires closure. When you can sit in silence and feel serenity instead of anxiety, that is a sacred sign. It means the universe has trained your spirit to rest in its rhythm. You have stepped out of resistance and into alignment. The storms that once terrified you no longer shake your foundation, because you know, even storms are temporary teachers of strength. When you reach that level of calmness, you have already passed the first test. The second sign that you have passed the test is that you no longer hold grudges. In the past, betrayal and disappointment might have left scars that never seemed to fade. There were nights when you replayed painful moments over and over, wondering why certain people hurt you when all you gave them was love. But time and the universe has gently shown you that holding on to resentment is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to suffer. The truth is, forgiveness isn't about them. It's about freeing yourself. When your heart releases anger, you become light again. You stop carrying the weight of stories that no longer serve your evolution. You no longer seek revenge, because you understand that the universe always balances itself. What is meant for you will find you, and what is not meant to stay will fade naturally. Every betrayal was a lesson, every heartbreak a redirection, every injustice a catalyst for growth. When you realize that everything that happened to you was meant to awaken something within you, you stop asking, "Why me?" and start whispering, "Thank you for the lesson." That shift from bitterness to gratitude is the mark of a healed soul. You are no longer controlled by pain, you are guided by wisdom. That is how you know you have ascended to a higher state of consciousness. The third sign is that you no longer chase what is not aligned with your path. You have stopped running after things that drain your energy, people, situations, or dreams that no longer vibrate with your soul. You understand that what belongs to you will never need to be forced. There was a time when you begged the universe to make something work, even when it was clearly falling apart. But now you've learned that surrendering is not giving up. It is trusting that divine alignment knows better than your human expectations. You no longer prove your worth to anyone. You simply are. The universe rewards authenticity, not desperation. When you stop chasing, the right things start finding you, effortlessly, beautifully, and in perfect timing. You live with a quiet confidence knowing that everything you need will flow naturally towards you. And that flow is a reflection of how much you have grown spiritually. When life begins to feel lighter, when opportunities align without struggle, and when peace becomes your natural state, that is the universe's gentle way of saying, you have passed this level of your journey.
The fourth sign that you have passed the universe's test is that you no longer allow your past to control your emotions. There was a time when old memories had the power to reopen wounds you thought had healed. A single reminder, a familiar scent, or a song could take you back to the same pain you once tried so hard to forget. But now, something within you has shifted. The memories remain, but they no longer hurt in the same way. You can look back without bitterness, without tears, without the trembling of the heart that once accompanied those recollections. This transformation is not a coincidence. It's the result of healing that came from deep within your soul. You have learned to see your past not as a chain that binds you, but as a teacher that shaped you. The people who once caused your pain were not your enemies. They were mirrors showing you the parts of yourself that needed light. Every disappointment, every goodbye, every betrayal was a lesson in disguise. You no longer wish things had been different because now you understand that if they hadn't happened exactly the way they did, you wouldn't have become who you are today. That acceptance is sacred freedom. When you no longer flinch at the thought of the past, when your memories become stories instead of scars, that is when you know the universe has acknowledged your growth. The test has been completed. You no longer live as the wounded version of yourself. You now walk as the wise one. The fifth sign is gratitude, deep effortless gratitude that flows from your soul without being forced. Gratitude is not simply saying thank you when things go your way, it's the ability to whisper thank you, even when life feels uncertain. You begin to see beauty in small moments, the warmth of sunlight on your skin, the sound of rain falling, the laughter of a stranger. You recognize the blessings were never absent, you were simply too distracted by pain to notice them before. Gratitude shifts your frequency. It aligns you with abundance. When you appreciate what you have, you create space for even more to arrive. And this gratitude doesn't come from denial or pretending everything is perfect. It comes from understanding that even the hardest moments carried hidden gifts. Every delay saved you from something not meant for you. Every heartbreak opened your heart wider. Every fall taught you to rise with more strength. Gratitude is the soul's acknowledgement of divine intelligence at work. It is the bridge between human struggle and cosmic peace. When you start to wake up each day feeling thankful simply for being alive, for breathing, for learning, for existing in this grand cosmic dance, you have entered a higher vibration. The universe recognizes that frequency. It responds with synchronicities, with signs, with new opportunities that match your state of appreciation. Gratitude is not the end of your spiritual journey. It is the proof that you are already walking in harmony with it. Now, let's take a moment to understand what truly happens when you pass these universal tests. Life doesn't suddenly become easier. The storms don't completely vanish. But what changes is your perception. Your inner world becomes unshakable. You no longer resist the flow of life. You move with it. You start to notice that even challenges now carry calm energy. You can see lessons where before you only saw chaos. You no longer fear uncertainty because you've discovered that uncertainty is not the enemy, it is the playground of miracles. Every test was meant to teach you resilience, patience, and faith in divine timing. It was never about surviving the storm, but about learning to dance in the rain. When you stop asking, "When will this end?" and start asking, "What is this trying to teach me?" that's when the universe smiles. That's when the tests turn into blessings. You become the observer, no longer trapped in the emotional turbulence. You become the calm in the middle of your own storm. That shift is your spiritual graduation. The universe doesn't hand out certificates, it gives you peace. And that peace becomes your proof that you have risen to a higher dimension of understanding. You no longer seek external validation. Your validation now comes from alignment with your own soul. As you rise into higher awareness, you begin to notice another subtle transformation. You stop comparing your journey to others. You understand that every soul has its own timing, its own rhythm, its own curriculum in this vast school called life. You no longer envy those who seem to move faster or have more because you know that what is meant for you will never miss you. Comparison is replaced with compassion. You start celebrating others' success as a reflection of abundance, not competition. You become genuinely happy for them because you see their light as part of the same divine flame. This realization frees your energy from the heavy chains of ego. You no longer chase what society says you should have. You define success by peace, not possessions. You define wealth by how much love and clarity you carry within, not how much you own. This shift makes your spirit weightless. You stop trying to prove and you start to be. You are not running anymore, you are flowing. You have learned that your timeline is sacred, that everything arrives exactly when you are ready, not when you think you are. That patience is your new strength. The universe trusts you because you have proven that you trust it too. And when the universe trusts you, it begins to reveal even deeper layers of its magic. At this stage, you realize that the true test was never about endurance, it was about awareness. It was about remembering who you are beneath all the layers of fear and illusion. Every obstacle you faced was a mirror, showing you what needed to be healed. The universe doesn't test to punish, it tests to awaken. And now that you've awakened, you begin to live differently. You make decisions from intuition, not anxiety. You act from peace, not pressure. You listen more and react less. You begin to sense that your life is guided by an unseen rhythm, a sacred choreography that has always been there. You stop doubting the timing of your life. You begin to trust that delays are divine protection, not rejection. And with that trust, your energy shifts completely. You radiate calmness, and people can feel it when you enter a room. You no longer need to speak loudly to be understood. Your presence itself carries wisdom. You have moved from survival mode into creation mode. You no longer say, "Why is this happening to me?" Instead, you say, "What is this teaching me?" That one question changes everything. It transforms pain into power and confusion into clarity. You have crossed the invisible threshold of chaos and consciousness. You are now walking as the awakened version of yourself, the soul who has passed the universe's test and finally remembered its own divine strength.
When your consciousness rises, your relationship with time begins to change. You stop rushing. You no longer feel pressured to achieve everything right now. You start to understand that divine timing is not measured by clocks, but by alignment. What is meant for you cannot arrive before you are ready, and it cannot leave once it's truly yours. You begin to walk slower, but with deeper awareness. You enjoy the pauses between moments, realizing that silence is not emptiness. It is space for divine messages to enter. You stop treating waiting as suffering. Instead, you see it as sacred preparation. The universe teaches you patience by slowing things down, not to frustrate you, but to synchronize your vibration with what's coming. When you finally reach that state of inner calm, life begins to move effortlessly again. The doors that once felt locked start opening without force. You realize that the waiting wasn't a punishment, it was grace. It was the universe protecting you from things you weren't yet ready for. And when you finally receive what you once prayed for, you no longer cling to it with fear. You hold it with peace, because you now understand that what's meant for your soul will always return, no matter how long it takes. That trust, that surrender, that unshakable faith in timing, that is the sign of a soul that has matured beyond fear. Another sign that you've passed your spiritual tests is how you handle uncertainty. You used to feel anxious when things didn't go as planned, as if chaos meant failure. But now, uncertainty excites you. It feels like an open canvas full of possibilities. You've learned to replace fear with curiosity. You wake up not asking, "What could go wrong?" but whispering, "What beautiful thing could unfold today?" This change doesn't mean life is easier. It means your soul has expanded enough to trust the unknown. You no longer try to control every outcome. You no longer need to predict every step. You understand that the universe speaks in mysterious ways, and sometimes the detours are the most sacred parts of the path. When plans collapse, you no longer panic. You breathe, smile, and say, "Something better must be coming." That level of surrender doesn't happen overnight. It's the result of countless moments where you fell, doubted, and got back up again. The unknown no longer feels like darkness. It feels like divine possibility. You begin to see uncertainty as a gift, the very place where miracles are born. This is the language of the universe. It removes what no longer serves you, even when your human mind calls it loss. But the awakened soul knows that nothing real can ever be lost. You are guided always, even when you cannot see the road ahead. At this point, your energy starts to shift so powerfully that others begin to notice. People might say, "You've changed," but what they really mean is that your frequency has risen. You no longer react to negativity the way you once did. Drama, conflict, and gossip no longer entertain you. They drain you. You crave peace, silence, and meaningful conversations. You protect your energy like sacred fire, not out of arrogance, but out of wisdom. You know that not everyone deserves access to your spirit. You begin to choose solitude over noise, depth over distraction, alignment over attention. You are learning that your energy is your greatest currency, and not everyone can afford your presence. When you reach this stage, loneliness transforms into solitude, a sacred space where you meet your true self. In that quiet, you rediscover your essence, your voice, your divine purpose. You become your own source of comfort and validation. And the universe rewards that self-reliance by sending people who match your vibration, souls who speak the same energetic language. The more you protect your peace, the more aligned connections appear naturally. It's not isolation, it's energetic refinement. You are not losing people, you are losing frequencies that no longer resonate. That is the true evidence of ascension. The higher you rise, the quieter your world becomes. And in that stillness, your spirit begins to shine with unshakable brilliance. The deeper your spiritual understanding grows, the more compassion fills your heart. You start to see pain, not only your own, but also the pain of others, through the eyes of wisdom. You understand that everyone is fighting invisible battles, that every soul is doing the best it can from this level of awareness. This realization changes how you respond to the world. You no longer judge easily. You no longer take things personally. When someone is unkind, you see their behavior as a reflection of their own unhealed pain, not a measure of your worth. Compassion becomes your natural response instead of anger. This does not mean you allow others to mistreat you. It means you no longer carry hate. You forgive because you value peace more than pride. You let go because you love yourself enough not to hold poison in your heart. You begin to pray not only for yourself, but for others, even those who have hurt you. That is spiritual maturity. To love without attachment, to understand without needing control, and to care without expecting anything in return. Compassion elevates your vibration to one of divine frequency. When your heart becomes this open, miracles find you easily. The universe rushes to protect those who radiate love, because love is the highest law of all existence. When compassion flows naturally through you, you've truly entered the realm of spiritual mastery. At this level of awareness, you begin to see your entire life as sacred art. Every chapter, even the painful ones, now hold beauty. You no longer regret your past, you honor it. You see every failure as a stepping stone, every ending as a beginning in disguise. You stop labeling experiences as good or bad because you now see how everything was necessary for your evolution. You start to live with a deep sense of purpose. Even small moments, drinking water, watching the sunset, speaking kindly, become rituals of gratitude. You realize that spirituality is not found in distant temples or books, but in everyday awareness. Your entire existence becomes a prayer, a conversation with the divine through every breath. You become aware that the same energy that moves galaxies also flows through your veins. You feel connected to everything, the earth, the stars, the people you meet, even the silence between your thoughts. That connection dissolves loneliness because you understand now that separation was always an illusion. You are the universe experiencing itself through a human form. When you reach this realization, there is nothing left to chase. You simply live fully, with intention and grace. The tests no longer scare you because you recognize them as sacred invitations to expand further. And with that knowing, you no longer seek to escape life, you embrace it. Every sunrise feels like a blessing, every challenge like a lesson, every moment like a miracle unfolding just for you.
When your soul reaches this level of awareness, you begin to see that even silence speaks. You no longer need signs from outside to confirm your growth, you feel it within. The universe starts communicating through subtler ways, through intuition, synchronicities, and gentle nudges that guide you without words. You notice repeating numbers, familiar symbols, songs that seem to play at the right moment, or a stranger's words that echo what your heart has been asking. These are not coincidences, they are confirmations from the universe saying you are on the right path. You trust your inner knowing more than ever before. You stop seeking constant reassurance because you realize that your intuition is the voice of the divine within you. It no longer whispers, it flows clearly, like a current of truth moving through your being. When you feel something deeply, you follow it without fear, because you've learned that your soul always knows before your mind understands. You stop asking the world for permission to evolve. You start trusting your own guidance system. That quiet confidence is a sign that your consciousness is aligned with universal intelligence. You are no longer searching outside for answers, you are listening to the universe within. The deeper you trust that inner guidance, the more miracles align effortlessly around you. You no longer walk blindly, you walk guided by the rhythm of your own awakened soul. At this stage, your relationship with pain transforms completely. Pain no longer feels like an enemy, it becomes a sacred messenger. You stop running from it, and instead you sit with it, breathing through its lessons. You understand that pain is simply energy asking to be understood, not avoided. It teaches you what still needs healing, what still needs love. You start to see that every time your heart aches, something within you is being reborn. Growth always requires a bit of breaking, just as light must pass through darkness to shine. You no longer say, "Why is this happening to me?" Instead, you whisper, "What is this trying to show me?" That shift in perception turns pain into power. It softens your heart instead of hardening it. You become more empathetic, more grounded, and more patient with yourself. The more you accept your pain as part of your sacred evolution, the faster it transforms into wisdom. Eventually, the moments that once brought tears now bring gratitude. You realize that the universe never wastes a wound. It transforms it into wisdom, if only you are willing to feel it fully. Pain becomes your teacher, not your tormentor. It carves space within you for deeper love, compassion, and understanding. When you reach this stage, you no longer fear pain. You welcome it as part of your soul's unfolding. And that acceptance, that unflinching courage to face discomfort, is one of the clearest signs that you have truly passed your spiritual tests. When your soul is aligned with divine truth, your desires begin to purify themselves. You no longer crave material validation or external success for the sake of proving your worth. Instead, your goals become soul-driven rather than ego-driven. You want peace more than praise, depth more than display, and purpose more than profit. The things that once thrilled your ego no longer satisfy your spirit. You crave authenticity and meaning in everything you do. You start creating not from fear or lack, but from love and inspiration. You give without expecting recognition. You serve because service feels natural to your being. This doesn't mean you abandon ambition. It means your ambition now serves a higher purpose. You align your actions with what feels true, not what looks impressive. The universe responds powerfully to that alignment, sending opportunities that match your vibration. You begin to notice that your life feels more effortless because you are no longer swimming against the current of your own truth. The things you manifest now come not from striving, but from resonance. You've learned the difference between chasing and attracting. You've realized that you don't need to chase what's meant for you. It will find you when your frequency matches it. That realization liberates your spirit. You begin to live, create, and love with a sense of divine flow. Everything becomes sacred when done from truth. You also begin to see relationships in a new light. You no longer seek people to fill your emptiness. You connect from fullness. You understand that true love is not about possession, but about resonance. You stop begging to be understood because you've learned that the right souls will always understand without explanation. You stop forcing connections that drain you. Instead, you attract those who see you for who you truly are, not who they want you to be. The need for validation dissolves. You no longer chase love, you radiate it. You understand that love is not something you find, it's something you become. When you operate from that vibration, your relationships transform. They become reflections of your peace rather than your pain. Even when people leave, you no longer crumble because you've realized that endings are not rejections, they are redirections. Every person who enters your life serves a purpose. Some teach you love, some teach you patience, others teach you strength. You bless them all. You stop labeling people as good or bad. You simply see them as teachers, dressed in different forms. This level of understanding dissolves emotional dependency and awakens true spiritual intimacy. You give freely, love deeply, but no longer attach fearfully. That is unconditional love, the kind that liberates rather than confines. The universe smiles upon souls who love like this because they reflect divine energy in its purest form. And when you begin to love this way, everything in your world begins to heal naturally. Finally, one of the most powerful signs that you've passed the universe's test is your ability to find peace in the present moment. You no longer live in the illusion of someday. You've stopped waiting for the perfect time to be happy. You've realized that peace is not something you chase, it's something that you choose, right here, right now. You stop postponing joy until life looks a certain way. You stop saying, "I'll be happy when," and instead you whisper, "I'm grateful now." This shift in awareness transforms your entire reality. You start noticing beauty everywhere, the way light moves through the trees, the rhythm of your own breath, the quiet hum of existence. You begin to live mindfully, fully awake in every small moment. The present becomes sacred. You no longer dwell in the past or worry about the future because you know that both are illusions compared to the stillness of now. This is the state of enlightenment, not some distant mystical experience, but the realization that heaven has always been here within this very breath. When you can rest in the present moment without longing for what's gone or fearing what's next, you have entered divine alignment. That is the universe's ultimate reward for a soul that has endured, learned, and awakened. The storm outside may continue, but the calm within you remains unshaken. You have found what every seeker longs for: peace that cannot be taken away.
As your consciousness expands, you begin to understand that life is not happening to you, but through you. You realize that every experience, joy, pain, confusion, and clarity, is energy passing through your awareness to shape the soul into its fullest form. You no longer fear change because you finally understand its sacred purpose. Every transformation, even the uncomfortable ones, is the universe sculpting you into alignment with your divine mission. You see how everything connects: the people you met, the tears you shed, the dreams you once lost. All of it was guiding you home to yourself. And in that realization, fear dissolves. You start living more intentionally, with gentleness and purpose. You speak with more kindness, listen with more patience, and act with more love. Your energy radiates peace, even without words. You become a living reminder that healing is not about fixing yourself. It's about remembering that you were never broken. That shift in awareness marks the birth of true spiritual maturity, when your existence itself becomes a prayer and your every breath becomes a bridge between the seen and the unseen. At this point, your heart vibrates with compassion not only for yourself, but for the entire world. You start to sense the invisible threads connecting every soul. You feel the sorrow of others as if it were your own, yet you do not drown in it. Instead, you transmute it into understanding and empathy. You no longer judge those who hurt you. Instead, you see their actions as reflections of their own pain and unhealed wounds. The deeper your awareness grows, the more love you radiate. Not a naive love, but a wise one, forged through trials and tempered by forgiveness. You realize that to forgive is to free yourself, and to love is to remember the divine truth that lives within every being. The world around you may still carry chaos, but within you there is an unshakable peace. You become a vessel of light, walking softly but carrying a presence that awakens others. And in this stage, you understand what it means to serve without seeking reward, to give simply because giving is what love does. The universe, in return, flows blessings into your path, not as payment, but as partnership in divine harmony. The next revelation comes when you truly start trusting divine timing. No longer impatient, no longer grasping at outcomes, you learn to rest in faith. You finally stop fighting the current, allowing life to unfold in its perfect sequence. When something doesn't happen, you no longer call it rejection, you call it protection. When a door closes, you know another is quietly opening. You start seeing delay as divine choreography, the universe arranging circumstances for your highest good. And when things do align, you no longer take it for granted. You see it as evidence of your co-creation with the universe. You begin to walk in rhythm with destiny, and everything flows smoother, softer, with ease. There is no longer a sense of rush, because you trust that what is meant for you cannot miss you, and what is not meant for you cannot stay. This kind of faith is not built overnight. It is forged through every heartbreak you survived, every prayer you whispered in darkness, every moment you chose hope over despair.
This faith becomes your compass, your peace, your quiet power. It guides you even when logic fails, reminding you that everything truly is unfolding as it should. And then you arrive at the threshold of true awakening. You no longer seek to escape the human experience, but to live it fully with awareness. You understand that enlightenment is not about floating above pain, but walking through it with an open heart. You stop labeling things as good or bad. Instead, you see them all as sacred movements in the grand dance of life. The storms no longer frighten you because you have become the sky, vast, open, and unshaken. You recognize yourself as both the wave and the ocean, the dreamer and the dream. Duality dissolves and unity emerges. You begin to live with effortless grace, anchored in humility and radiating love without agenda. This is the essence of ascension, not leaving the world behind, but walking within it as a conscious being of light. Every choice becomes intentional, every interaction sacred. You realize that your journey was never about finding heaven somewhere else. It was about discovering the heaven within. And now, as you stand at this higher frequency, you smile, knowing that all the pain, confusion, and lessons were not in vain. They were the passage through which your soul remembered its own divinity. And so, dear soul, if you find yourself resonating with these signs, if peace now feels more natural than chaos, if forgiveness comes easier than anger, if gratitude flows effortlessly through your heart, then celebrate. You have passed the tests of the universe. You are no longer who you once were. You have been reborn through fire, healed through surrender, and strengthened through faith. Your light now shines not because it avoids the darkness, but because it has learned to embrace it with wisdom. Thank you for being here, for walking this sacred journey with me, and for sharing your energy with this space. Your presence is a blessing. If this message has touched your heart, I invite you to subscribe to RS Spiritual Vibes, where souls like you gather to grow, heal, and awaken together. Leave your thoughts in the comments. Share which sign resonated the most with your spirit. And if you've already subscribed, thank you for supporting this journey. May all the love and light you have shared return to you 1,000-fold. Until we meet again, keep walking in faith, keep glowing in truth, and remember, the universe doesn't choose the strongest souls. It creates them through the trials they transcend.